Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In the last two videos we talked a lot about hard numbers, the real business world and politics. Today we're going to look into the psychology, rhetoric and business philosophy of MLM companies. One could also simply call it the fallacy of the American dream. A logical fallacy is a false statement that weakens an argument by distorting an issue, drawing false conclusions, misusing evidence, or misusing language. The first lie you will be told by an MLM rep or company is right at the beginning. It is, as we all know by now, the infamous income opportunity that is pitched to you by every MLM sales rep ever. Now, looking into the statistics, we know it shouldn't be called an income opportunity, since there is little to no income to be gained. Quote, in fact, I called Las Vegas gambling casinos and learned that the odds of profiting from carps or roulette are far better than the likelihood of profiting from a typical MLM. At least gambling casinos are honest enough to claim that those who play at their gambling tables are investing in a business opportunity. John M. Taylor, MBA, PhD, in The Case for and Against Multilevel Marketing. However, somehow they still manage to lure people in. Why? They must have some really good arguments, I suppose. What are those? Well, it's not exactly the same script for all MLM companies, but they will tell you something along those lines. Every company is a pyramid scheme, corporate America is a pyramid scheme. Now let's talk about these statements one by one. First up, corporate America is not a pyramid scheme. Looking at the structure, it could resemble a pyramid, considering there's one CEO, two directors, four managers, etc. Thing is that the compensation plan looks much different in corporate enterprises than a Ponzi scheme MLM. Even if you work as an employee in the sales department, you'd have a fixed salary at least. And then there's some bonuses and commissions for certain performances. And you never have to pay for your job, unlike the pay-to-play strategy that MLMs use to make profit. This MLM is different, we operate like Amway. This next statement we have already covered in detail. I recommend watching my Ponzinomics Part 1 and 3 video or reading Robert L. Fitzpatrick's book Ponzinomics. MLMers refer to the 1979 ruling that Amway is not an endless chain operation, which has been criticized by government institutions, attorneys, consumer advocates, and even politicians for being incorrect ever since. The products or services are special. They can't be sold in stores. Next up, MLM companies' products are not unique and often overpriced. For that particular reason, these distributors have to look to questionable sales and recruitment tactics in order to make sales and, more importantly, recruit. Then again, they don't even make any money by selling anything. We know that commissions are mainly earned through recruiting, and that obviously done best by building a personal relationship through face-to-face meetings or events. Those who quit are lazy losers. Then we have the old loser debate. MLMers claim that people who fail to make money with their respective companies are quitters or losers. That argument is needed to discredit them and prove that everyone who works hard enough makes money except for them. There are several statistics proving that most people quit in the first year. So are they saying that the majority of people who signed up for an MLM are simply losers? If it's that easy to do, and if anyone could do it, I ask myself, why is it that so many people seem to be incapable of making money with MLM? You don't need experience, you learn as you go. Here comes the argument that you don't need to have experience. Well, selling something to people or recruiting them is not an easy job at all. It can be hard to convince people, even of free stuff sometimes. And it might help to know a thing or two other than reading a Tony Robbins book or watching The Secret on Netflix. There are many fields to study in universities and other educational institutions, such as business management, logistics, marketing, and more. Are the people who are studying to master these fields for years stupid for doing so? Or is there more knowledge required to run a business other than what they would tell you? You're an entrepreneur, this is your business, it's on you to make it work. There goes the entrepreneur argument. You run an enterprise within an enterprise. This is more than a job. Okay then, you just sign up for an MLM and congratulations, you're now an entrepreneur. But are you really? You have no choice over the product you are selling. You have no say in the business strategy that will be applied, which markets the company expands to, etc. Considering this, you can't really say that you're running the show. Are you just another brick in the wall, like a corporate employee, which seems to be an MLMer's biggest nightmare? You just have to hustle for 1 or 2 years and you'll be set for life. Again, that is untrue. Even the top earners in the MLM industry claim to have taken much longer than 1 or 2 years. And all of them are still working. Yes, they show off their lavish lifestyles on social media and elsewhere, but they're not exactly retired, drinking mojitos on some island, while the MLM hustle of just 2 years brings in the money automatically. It takes several years to be a top-ranked marketer. We all know the amount of scamming that is required to even get there, and we all know there is no guarantee that this can be a reality at all. Since 99.9% of all people who sign up for an MLM lose money, there have to be a lot more scammers and liars out there. Why? There are millions of people who claim to be successful with their respective MLM company, even though statistics prove quite the opposite. So who are these young successful people on the internet with such incredible cash flow? They seem to be recruiting hundreds of people every week, selling out all their stock on a regular basis and be overall making it at life. You click on their profiles and see lavish holidays, designer items and sports cars, supposedly all paid for by this incredible business opportunity that they joined. I hate to rain on someone's parade, but this is impossible. There is well-documented proof of hundreds of people caught lying red-handed on their social media profiles. So what do they lie about and what tactics do they use? Well, first of all, MLM distributors have a history of notoriously stealing content from other creators without giving credit and attributing the amazing results to the products that they are selling, when in fact the owner of the photo has never used any of these products. Secondly, they use random photos from the internet to show off their amazing lifestyle that they are now supposedly able to afford, as MLM reps. Like a Wikipedia photo of a sports car or a Pinterest photo of a pair of designer heels, with a caption saying something like, "Finally I can afford my dream car," or "I just went Christmas shopping." Another thing they lie about is the number of products that they are selling and how many orders they have to prepare for their customers. And lastly, they are faking happiness and contentment, since being negative or asking critical questions is a sin in this industry. You're constantly being told by your upline or the company itself to keep it lighthearted, positive and never complain. Another not so honorable mention would be lying about simply using personal tragedies to sell their stuff. Here's a few examples I've collected from this article. Well, as we discussed in recent videos, most people who sign up for an MLM aren't making any money. The thing is that they're literally asked by their upline to post certain content in order to look successful. There are guidelines on what you should and shouldn't post on your social media profile at almost any MLM company, and most of these are suggesting that you fake it until you make it. That sounds kind of harmless and innocent in the first place, but if you get people to buy stuff from you or sign up as recruiters by telling them, well, BS basically, that is very harmful and predatory. The worst part is probably that this doesn't even help you make a commission, for it usually goes into the top % recruiters' pockets anyways. In this business, you're being lied to from the get-go. The first lie is the pitch that they give you when they try to get you to sign up. Then you're presented with a compensation plan that is usually dramatically exaggerated. In the beginning phase, you're being heavily brainwashed with love bombing, toxic positivity, meaningless self-help material, and inaccurate business advice. And finally comes the isolation from anyone trying to talk some sense into you. As you spend all this money on the MLM company, you're really trying to make it work. When it becomes clear that you're not making profit and are also far from breaking even, you become worried. Doubts kick in and desperation comes up. You realize you are in too deep, so you try everything to be successful. You now have two choices. You either give up and admit your failure, or step up, throw your morals out, and start deceiving people. You lie for as long as you need to, until you believe it yourself. Congratulations! You're now officially gaslighting yourself and everyone around you. The issue, on one hand, is a moral one. And on the other hand, you're not guaranteed to making profit ever. Therefore, also a financial one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on my next videos and we will look more into the secret. We will look into Tony Robbins a bit, feminism in MLM and more. I hope to see you soon on this channel. Bye for now, guys.